Howdy folks, it's Tall Turtle here and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. We are on part 2 of 3 of our Alaskan bush trip, legs 5, 6, 7, and 8 today. Looks like we have a couple long ones here for this little section, but edited down it should be a reasonably length video for you all. So here we are, leg 5 of the trip. Let's get going. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, watch part 1. Here we go. Alright, just like we start every leg, we do repair and refuel to make sure our fuel tanks are full, and they are. Come down here and let's get some lighting on. Maybe. There we go. Had to go one way to go the other. Alright, what are we doing? We are going from PACT to PAOU, Papa Alpha Oscar uniform, so let's check that out. It says it's like an hour almost, so I mean it's going to take like an hour and a half for me. We're going to fly through here. Oh my gosh, I'm tempted just to go like this. But that defeats the whole purpose, right? Flying along the coast. Alright, looks like we're going to fly through some terrain areas here with some mountains. Look for another volcano probably. And then a long time along the coast. So altitude, let's go pretty high for this. Let's do 7,000. And then after we get through here, we'll come down to 4 and cruise the rest of it at 4. So I think I can remember that? Probably not. So 7,000 to start with, and then 4,000 after we've done the rest of it. So that's already set to FMS, which is nice because it wasn't last time, so that's good, right? FMS, good. So we'll do vertical speed at about up to 7,000. We can't do 1,300 feet per minute. It all stalls. So let's do we have time to go 900 feet? Oh yeah, 900 feet per minute will be fine, and we'll use nav. So there we go, that is ready to go. Now let's read about what we're doing. And like I said in the first part of these 3 videos, if you want to pause it and read all the details, you can. I'm not going to read every detail because it's just too much to read and say. And normally I would hand fly all this and follow all of this stuff like we did on the Nevada trip, but then it's hard to set up sightseeing shots. So we're going to use the autopilot just to fly it for us. Still takes some skill to land on these little runways. Well, this one isn't little, but the other ones have been little. So I did do the Nevada trip this way though, so I can do it. It can be done. It's exhausting, but it can be done. So here we go. The lagoon, depart the lagoon, head north. Again, pods if you want to read all the details, follow along with Google Maps. That long word, lower pond. Track the shoreline till it bends. As you pass the lower pond, it'll bend further. A harbor, lots of harbors and bends and things, bays. Delta Creek as it runs east. Captain Harbor, shoreline, fly past stretch of land before crossing the bay. Then we should be getting to the mountains at this point. A lagoon, and then the northern shore, and then we start going into the mountains here, and then fly toward the peak, watch for the slope. Yep, we don't want to crash into the side of the mountain. Track the river. And then we come out over the mountains into the cove, and then we'll follow the shoreline, see for a long time, and then you do the coast, and you follow the coast, and you follow the coast, and there's a photo reference of our airport, which looks like, actually that's a pretty good sized airport if you look at the parking lot. That's a pretty good sized airport, but let's compare it to this. It's like on an island. Oh, it is on an island, sort of. Alrighty, that's kind of cool. We will keep track of that. There we go. We are shooting for the achievement, which I don't think there is one, but there might be a hidden one. So we're not clicking that back on track. No way. Alright, full flap, although we have, well actually, no, we're halfway down the runway, aren't we? They're giving us half a runway. We could back taxi. We're not going to though. Whoa. Alright, so full flap so we can go quickly. I don't know if parking brake is on or off. I think it's on now. Parking brake off. And full force, and away we go. Super straightforward. Yeah, I know everything's in the red, but we'll straighten on the middle. What's going on, dude? Hey, watch out. Jeez. Alright, upsy daisy. There we go. Stop the brakes. Stop the wheels with the brakes. Flap coming in. Flap coming in. And flap coming in. And normally we would hand fly, but in this case, well, no, let's not do autopilot quite yet. Let's hand fly to join our path. and then we'll take over with autopilot, and then we'll sightsee for an hour, it said, but it's not going to be an hour for you, obviously. What I've been trying to do, at least I did in the last video, is I took like sightseeing at different points along the way, but you should be able to see from one point to the next and stuff. You know what I mean? So nothing gets missed. So even though I'm not keeping in every single second of the flight, nothing should be missed. You should be able to see the whole thing. I know the Nevada trip, it was useful because people could use it to guide their own way because there was no autopilot or GPS. But with these, just, you know, turn on GPS, whatever, or autopilot. Alrighty, we're going to try to intersect this line, and then once we do, we will engage autopilot, so we will hand fly for a little bit longer than we have been. I know I said in the previous video I was going to hand fly most of this video. Whoa, hang on, go away, pilot thing, I want that as a screenshot. But, I might just use autopilot anyway, just because of the sightseeing thing. It's really hard to set up sightseeing shots when you're flying from the outside. So, are we about ready to connect to that? We could be more aggressive this way, I suppose. That looks like classic Alaskan landscape to me. Isn't that awesome? And by the way, if you did not watch the first video for some reason of this three-parter, I had a friend in high school who immediately after high school went to this exact part of Alaska, and he is actually a legit professional bush pilot out there running supplies and stuff. He's been doing it for 25, 30 years, however long it's been since high school anyway. And he used to post on Facebook all the time, his adventures back when Facebook was cool. But then he met a woman and haven't heard from him since. But that's okay. Anyway, that's the story there. Alright, so I still don't want to engage autopilot yet because it'll make us go way left just to go a little left. We're just going to keep following this line. It is nice to hand fly, I admit. And if I weren't taking a video, I would hand fly this whole thing for sure. Oh, there we go. Time to turn now. We got to the next section, so now let's do autopilot. Oh, fine. Be more aggressive then. Is it going to vertical speed for us? 900 feet per minute. Come on. Let's bump that up a little bit for right now. There we go. Alright, so I'm just going to sit here and manage systems and sightseeing for you all. And a long hour for me. And not that long for you, though. So see you in a couple minutes once it's edited down. Alright, just a mid-leg update here. They should be turning to the right any second now. When is that going to happen? Any second. We are about to come down to 4,000 feet. We have a long ways to go, though, in the flight. We're not anywhere close to our destination, but I told you before, once we pass the mountains, we would come down. So let's go to 4,000 feet or so, like this, and vertical speed. We'll do a gentle 600 feet per minute. Just bring the throttles back ever so slightly so we don't overspeed. And any minute now, it should have us turn. There it is, just like planned. Looking good. Looking at the sky over there. Alright, so a few things to point out, other than the satellite scenery is okay. I guess if we were up like, I don't know, 20,000 feet, even 10,000 feet, more than 10,000. Yeah, 10,000, 20,000, cruising altitude, then the scenery would be incredible, right? But the satellite stuff, when you're kind of at GA flight level, I guess it's better than the default mesh, but it does kind of look strange to me anyway. So it has its pros and cons, right? Like when I did X-Plane, I hated the photoreal add-on scenery stuff. It just looked out of place and weird, right? Because it looks great if you're at, you know, flight level 36 or something, but when you're close to the ground, it looks like a satellite image. So I'm not completely impressed with how this looks, given this was a, you know, a bush trip that they added for the world update. But you know what? It's better than not having one to do at all. So it's fine, I guess. What are we doing for speed? Oh, we're overspeeding. Bring those throttles back more. So what are we doing? First, we are going to keep an eye on that. Come back a little more. We're going to look outside. There's the ocean, of course, the very cold, cold ocean. And then we're flying just straight along this coast for another 25 minutes or so, at least. Yeah, 25 minutes. It's going to be a long flight across this plain area. But it's okay. Looking good. Happy. That's a really good shot right there, isn't it? A screenshot of that. But we came from this. Actually, we came from over here. And instead of flying across and cheating, we flew the U-shape through the mountains. But what I thought was really cool, these glacier paths. These glacial paths, you can see how the glaciers cut through. See that hump? Cut through, cut through, cut through, cut through. That I thought was really cool, and I wanted to be sure to point that out. And then, otherwise, it's rural Alaska, looking good. Despite what I complained about, it still looks great. It's just, there are better areas of the world. That's all I wanted to say. Alright, let's hop back inside, put the drone away first. There we go. What do we have left to do here? It's just going to be flying along the coast for a while, right? We just came from over there a while ago. That's that right there. And then we're going to come out, follow the coast. So we're right about here right now. Just going to follow along. And then this curves out once, twice. There's a second one, and then there's this right here. So right over here. Sorry about the whistling S's. What's that all about? Right about here's the airport. So we have a ways to go yet. This is longer than it looks. So we're just going to fly along the coast. I'll give you a little bit more sightseeing, not nearly as much. In fact, I did more sightseeing than I planned. I'll give you a little bit more sightseeing, just a taste of this coast. And then when it's time to land, we'll rejoin, and we will... Where is that airport? Good grief. Then we'll land. See you in a little bit. Alright, we're looking down the barrel of our rival here. We are going straight there. Which hump is it, that one or that one? I don't quite know. It's this one right out there. So that's our destination. And pretty straightforward stuff. That's some amazing landscape though. Again, when I think of Alaska, for some reason this exactly right here is how I imagine Alaska. Not like within the mountains, but looking at mountains from afar. Don't know why I think that. I've seen pictures of Juneau, and I have friends in Juneau, and those mountains go right up to downtown. So I don't know, but that's what I think of it. I love the cloud shadows, or the cloud reflections on the water. Everything looking good. I think we're at our 52 frames per second probably. Yeah, 52. It seems to max out at 52, 53 no matter what, which is fine. So with that being said, more whistling S's. Interesting. Let's see. Come down yet? No. We're going to assume the airport's about sea level. We're at 4,000. Man, I guess we come down in a moment. Let's shoot for about 2,000, 2,500 around here. And then we'll land. And I had it set for 25, but let's go down to 1,800. Find 1,700. Looking up ahead. Again, which one is it? Let's see. We've got these two and then that. So it's right there. Oh yeah, I make it out. There it is. Alright, we have our target in sight. Final looks outside. Now this looks pretty cool. We're gonna look around. One final time. Yeah, this is awesome. This is amazing. Look, the volcano's back there. Crazy to think how far we've come already, and we're not even halfway done yet. Wow. Oh, look at the shores. Icy sand or something? I'm not sure what this would be in real life. As I edit this, I'm sure I'm looking at the Google Maps of this. I wonder if there's roads along here, if this is really as desolate as it looks. Could go either way, I guess. I don't know, and I should pretend to know, because I don't know. I see the runway now, so let's kill the automatic pilot and redo everything. It always screws this plane up when you take up autopilot. Trim this thing down, start coming down a little bit. Fly the plane, look outside every now and then, as we would be in real life. Sort of. Probably not that much. And let's come on down. I see the airport here. We're literally just going to follow the coast. Just like this. Keep the center of the nose on the coast, and that'll give us a good approach into the airport. And then we'll mind our altitude and speed and land. I'm getting distracted by the snow-capped mountains in the distance. We should fly some of this with real-world weather soon, so that we can see, compared to the snow, because I'm sure it's covered in snow right now, but you need live weather to get the snow. We talked about this in part 1 of these 3 videos. We talked about live weather you need on in order to get snow, and there's definitely snow here right now, but this is, not like an add-on, but when they create these bush trips, they're like mini-game type things, so the weather's preset, the scenery's preset, the clouds are preset, everything's preset for you. So we're not going to get snow, even though there's snow there in real life. We have to come back with live weather turned on our own to see snow. Alright. Keep following the coast. That's a really cool shot, isn't it? That's really cool. But we really should be inside flying a plane, because we're coming down very quickly in altitude. Because flying from the outside is very difficult. Let's veer a little to the north so that we can line up for a runway. We'll keep our speed up though. There's the beacon just popped in. That was bright. These rocky shores remind me of Duluth, the northern shore of Duluth, or not of Duluth, Minnesota, then the north shore from there. Well, let's not get too low. I'm too busy sightseeing. Oh dear. Oh dear. That wasn't good. We almost went in the water, 300 feet above. If the winds are modeled, we're going to get quite a crosswind here, because we've been into the wind at the other airports. So we'll see how much crosswind we may or may not have. And let's slow down into flaps territory now. Well, I'll overshoot it because I can't see around that pillar. No, keep your altitude here, buddy. Not too low too soon. It's really difficult to judge altitude when you're over water, so you gotta be careful. Keep an eye on your altimeter, your altitude. First set of flaps, looking at the runway, not the terrain. Second set of flaps, a little bit of throttle right now. All flaps. Aim for the end of the near end of the runway. tail draggers will come down steep and then level off at the last second, just like this. Coming down, we'll do throttles back. Now, level off, do not land on the tail. Do not land on the tail, smooth it out. And there we go. One bounce is okay. There we go, pull it back on the tail, brakes. Well, that was 2 bounces, sorry. I pulled back on the throttle, on the yoke too soon. I should have waited a second. I just wanted to stop quickly. Alright, hour and 1 minute, so not too much longer than we're supposed to be. That is good. Let's move on to leg 6, right? Leg 6, here we come. We're going to start with the repair and refuel. I forgot to switch tanks, didn't I? I'm supposed to switch tanks every 5 gallons or something like that. Get the lights going. Yeah, 5 gallons. Supposed to switch tanks. Alright, get the lights going. There we go. Everything else is fine. Good. Let's center ourselves for crying out loud. Okie dokie, where do they put us on the runway? Oh, we got plenty of room. Plenty of room. Alright, hop back in. Alrighty, flaps down. Let's read about where we're going. We're going to PAPE. 43 minutes, another long one. That's okay. I've got the time. PAPE is some more fields. We got some terrain here. Got a little bit of terrain to look out for, depending where it actually puts us. And boom. So that's a nice long one. Okie dokie. Because of the terrain, let's go with 7,000. It's been good so far, although that previous leg, 7,000, maybe it was even 8,000, I can't remember. Whatever that previous leg was, we barely cleared some of that terrain. Let's go 7,000. We can always increase if we need to. We're going to flight director, nav, vertical speed. For that, let's do 900 feet per minute. We have enough time. Alright, let's see what else. Let's read about it now. 43 minutes. Do I have time to do this one? I do, obviously, because you're watching it. Okie dokie. You can pause to read more detail if you want to, but we're going to take off from the island and look at the islands. Small islands. We're going to pass 2 small islands. That's like right away. Point Edward. We've been to Point Edward before as well. In X-Plane 11 or 10, long time ago in the Beaver. Coming around Point Edward, track south. Okay, Deer Island. Deer Island, make the short jump south. Opposite shoreline, okay. Continuing south, follow the shore, bays, gulls, points, stuff like that. Head over some Grass Valley. Is this, let's see, looking at the time. This is not quite those mountains yet. After the fork, through the mountains, there we go. We're going to follow river through the mountains, and then we're going to go through the mountains, and then there's Blue Point, American Bay, and then there's more bays, rock walls and things, big river, and then more flat area, grassland area, more mountains, eh? Okay. And then get out of the mountains, and then the shoreline, and then here's our reference right on the water, unassuming airport. I'm sure we can find it just fine. So we got a little bit of mountains here, and then a little bit of mountains here. We'll see if it puts us in the valley or over the top. We might need to do some heading bug stuff here to get through this, depending how high these are. We're not going to cheat and go around. We're going to go like that, like they want us to. And then the runway is right on the water. Okie dokie. Oh my gosh, I almost clicked back on track instead of scrolling over. Oh my gosh, I almost clicked back on track just to be fast. I'm glad I didn't, in case there's a hidden achievement, which again, I doubt it. But we'll find out together, won't we? Alrighty, so there we go. Simple enough. Full flap everything. Parking brake off on the rudder pedals. Make sure I'm actually recording. I haven't screwed that up yet, but in the past couple of bush trips I have, I recorded or flew. Didn't realize we weren't recording. That windsock is pretty null, isn't it? There's usually a little bit of wind on these. Alright, brakes to stop the wheels. Gears fixed. Flap in, and flap in. Props back, and engage autopilot right away, just because it's not that exciting to fly over water, really. And then we can sightsee. Alright, let's look outside right away this time. Look at those mountains in the background. Look at that. From this distance it looks amazing. And we're gonna fly. And as I said, probably in every link so far. If I weren't recording video, I'd hand fly the whole thing. but to set up sightseeing and stuff, it's hard to do that. So that's why I read Autopilot. Look at those mountains in the background, the former volcano, or the volcanoes. I guess there's no such thing as a former volcano. It's always a volcano. Okay, this is Lake 6, I think, and it's gonna be quite the time. So I'm gonna hop inside here, make sure everything is okay, and it is. And one more time check out where it's actually having us go. We are flying out to these islands and then down. Okay, so just like before, I'll do sightseeing. I'm going to try not to put as much sightseeing in this leg, or this video is going to get really long, because there's still 2 more legs after this in this video. So, sightseeing, I'll try to get it from point to point so you don't actually miss anything. But, I'll see you. For me, it's going to be like an hour. See you then. Just a mid-flight update for you here. So our destination is actually right here, because we got this, that, boom, and then boom, our destination. But we're not going straight there. We're going to go through these hills and things. So if we were much lower, let's hop outside, we would actually be flying down in these trenches, and we come around like this. And we come through here and everything. But we're so high up that it's not an issue. We're just going to fly right over them and then turn around. So kind of silly to be this high for a bush trip, because we can see our destination the whole time. We really should be down in those trenches, flying nice and low along the river. But this is how we're doing it, so I guess we're just going to continue with the way it's going and get a good look at some water up there, I guess. Otherwise, just follow this along. Nothing else terribly exciting is happening, to be honest. But that's okay. We've done these before, so we know what to expect at this point. It's just looking around for like 6 hours or whatever it's going to end up being. So I just want to give that update that our destination is already in sight. We're just taking the long way, and we probably should have gone more steeply. If I were to ever redo these, I don't know why I would, but if I were to ever redo these for all of these bush trips, I would hand fly and go much lower to the ground. So maybe if they add any bush trips, we'll keep that in mind. The hand flying does make the video part of it much more difficult, but we've done so many of these now, and it's getting to be the same thing now, so maybe next time we would hand fly low to the ground. I don't know. I don't know if they have any more bush trips planned. The UK update in a couple weeks is supposed to be a bunch of landing challenges, which, you know, I hate, but I'll do them anyway. So anyway, kind of a pointless mid-flight update, so back to sightseeing. I'll see you in a couple more minutes. Somewhere down there's an airport. According to the map, it's right there. Really? Because there's a tip with a hook in Loch Ness Monster looking islands, which is right there and there. Okay, I don't believe it, but there must be. So it is time to kill the autopilot. Right middle turn, of course, and come on down and see if we can find this thing. What are we looking for? Just along the shoreline, I guess. Again, the orientation in the photo has nothing to do with orientation of the actual runway, simply because it doesn't. It's just wherever they put it. So it could be here along that shore, looking the other way, or it could be here along that shore. So we just need to find it. So let's get down quickly without hitting this terrain. So let's actually S-curve this a little bit, and then we'll slip it again like we have been doing. It really would have been helpful at this point to be flying very low, but keep that in mind. Note to self, if there's ever another bush trip, we're going to hand fly it and fly it low. Now you might be saying, but Turtle, you still have 7 legs or 6 legs, whatever, I don't even know what we're on anymore. 6 legs to do it that way. Yeah, you're right. But I set this to do this series of videos when I need to like set it and forget it. That's the behind the scenes secret. When I set out to make these 3 videos, I'm like, if I do it like this and just let the autopilot go and take care of chores and the kids, then I can do it. Otherwise, I don't know when I would get these out to you if I had hand fly, but maybe we'll hand fly a couple. Maybe the shorter ones. I'll try to sneak them in. Just have to stay up late. Alright, we're over the water. And according to the GPS, it should actually be right around here somewhere. So it's going to be that shore, not that shore, based on the GPS. Either way would work for the photo. So let's come out this way. Mind your altitude, mind your speed. No runway in sight. I mean, we assume we know where it is, but we don't actually see it. Let's just go like that to help us out here. I'll start coming in a little bit. I'm thinking if we come in like southwest of these mountains, we'll be fine, but I don't see anything. So we might need to go over and come back. What does this say? I mean, this implies we're going to hit it from this direction, but doesn't mean we have to come in from this direction. Let's slow down into flap range so we can buy us some time. Maybe we should have come in along the shore on the other side of these hills. You know, maybe we should have come in from here on the other side, but too late now for a set of flaps. This is going to be a quick, short final. As soon as we spot that airport, we're going to drop down. I love how this looks. This is bush flying, folks. Now, if there weren't water on the other side, it'd be even crazier, but this is definitely bush flying. Going to come right over this ridge line.
500.
Oh my goodness. This is awesome. This is where it's at. Alright, yeah, full flap. Let's start slowing down. Let's not hit that ridge. Whoa. How are we doing? We're looking to, whoa, that was cool. Look at that. Oh my. Okay, let's pay attention to what we're doing. Oh my goodness. Okay, here we go. Start slowing down even more. Wonder if the residents to our left are used to this. I want to look around, but we can't. There's no replay feature. So we just have to fly. Oh, that highway looks awesome. Alrighty. Coming right at stall and drop it like a rock. Here we go. Where's that stall horn? Where's that stall horn? Come on. Stall me out. Stall. Don't land on the tail wheel though. Stall. There we go. Boom. There's our one bounce. And brakes. Flaps coming in back on the yoke. There we go. Okie dokie, that was leg 6, I believe. So let's continue with leg 7. Here we go. Okay, leg 7 after a quick little break here to do some things with the kids, and now they're out sledding. So I'm hoping they're sledding long enough we can get a few more legs in here. I can't go sledding because of health issues, but I used to go sledding with them. Oh man, did I ever go sledding with my kids. I loved it. I was pretty wild too, but those days are long gone. So where are we going in leg 7? Leg 7, right? I think leg 7. From PAPE to Alpha 79, which I think is really quick. I think it's just right here, right around the bend. Somewhere, yeah, right around the bend. So what do we need for altitude? We're going to stay pretty low on this one, I think. We're just going around the corner looking for a lake. Can we get them both in here at once? Pretty much. Simple enough. Should we try to hand fly this one? I don't know if we can, as long as my kids don't text me looking for a ride home, or well, they walk to the hill, but then they get so tired they can't walk home because our hill home is steeper than the hill that they slide, depends part of the country you're on. Alright, let's just do that, just in case I decide to use it. Nav, just in case I decide to use it. Alrighty, let's read about this place and what we're doing. Oops, wrong one. I changed my mapping. Alright, again, pause and read if you want more detail. Take the skies around some mountains. Head over the inlets, some bays, and some points. More mountains. From the bay, go to the river. There's a fork. Take the northeastern fork toward the river. You'll soon gain altitude. Okay, gain altitude towards the end. You'll soon find a gap in the ridge, which means we'll probably end up hand flying anyway because autopilot's going to push through a mountain. And here is the runway for reference along the water, and of course orientation does not mean anything in that photo. Although it's pretty similar actually, just by coincidence, I think. No, it's backwards. Yep. Okay, so we're just looking for this water. So we're going to take off. We're going to fly by hand. We'll need to follow the purple line as best as we can, just to keep track of where we're going. Let's back that up a little bit. Where are we headed? We're headed right here, between those mountains. Right there. Can we zoom in one more? Let's not. Okay, fine. We'll figure this out. Alright, full flap just in case, and parking brake off. Actually, maybe parking brake is on. Nope, it's off. Okay. And we're just going to take off on the runway. I think they put us in a good spot. I wasn't really paying attention. We weren't even in the center. I didn't do that. That's where they put us. Alrighty, hop up. Step on those brakes. Gears fixed. Flap 3 is in. Flap 2 is in. Flap 1 is in. I just want to look around. This is the best scenery we've had on this entire bush trip so far, by a pretty large margin. Alrighty, here we go. Let's climb. Let's fly by hand a little bit. Oh, so easy when there aren't any winds. Look around. Again, though, if we fly by hand, this is the only scene we can get. Yes, co-pilot. I know. I know. Whoa. Okay, that was a weird way to do that. Let's turn around. And what gap are we aiming for here? We're aiming a little bit more to the left. Looks like we're aiming for this gap right here. That's what it looks like. I think that's it. Yep. Alrighty, that's all there is to it. I'm going to hand fly as best as I can, I think. I might have to turn on autopilot if I have to text the kids back or something. But otherwise, sightseeing for you for how long is this supposed to take? Well, it's going to take like an hour if it's supposed to be 14 minutes. I'll see you in a little bit. So one downside of the hand flying at a lower level is this train turbulence. It's crazy. Look at this. So I guess we were avoiding that before by flying at like 7,000 or 8,000 feet, right? Right now we're at 2,600 because I want to get down in there. But good grief, this train turbulence is nuts. But for this leg at least, oh my gosh, I'm getting nauseous actually. Ooh, I gotta get a headache. For this leg, I guess we'll continue flying like this. But, because originally I want to get way down in here and fly low, but with that turbulence, that's pretty intense. So, I don't know. Okay, that's better, but it's going to come again once we get in this little hole, they called it. But we'll do what we can. So we're just, following the map and following GPS. Super straightforward, super easy. Are we following the right thing, though? No, we're not. Nope. We need to do this other one. I got a little excited there. So now we got to fly up and over this, which shouldn't be too bad. Just more train turbulence. And those are my kids texting me about sledding. How about we buzz this hill? It's going to get bouncy, but we're high enough above it. We're not going to hit it. So let's try this. Let's see what happens. Well, we made the computer mad at us, but this is really fun, and this is gorgeous. Gorgeous and fun way to fly, but making me kind of dizzy. So where are we going from here? We're going to go towards that, which is this, and then we got to gain altitude to get over this, which is that, and then come back down. At least I think that's what we're doing. Well, that's what we're going to do. So this is fun to do, except I don't know if it makes exciting video because you're stuck in the cockpit with me as I try not to overspeed. Because in the bush trips, if you overspeed, you crash the plane and you have to start over that leg. And I've had to do that once. I don't want to do it again. So we're going to climb now. Climb. And get over this little ridge. But this is really fun. Oh my gosh, this is fun. I wouldn't be able to do this for an hour-long leg. I would get exhausted. But for this short little leg, it's super cool. But again, you're kind of stuck inside the airplane with me. Well, that looks amazing. Let's enjoy that together for a moment. If I can get between, that's going to be good enough. Kind of explained this before, but the reason why I can't use the drone, I mean, you can use the drone outside autopilot, but the reason why it doesn't work is because you lose your input when you jump into a different camera like that. So at least that's how mine is set up. I guess maybe not everybody, but that's how mine is set up. So if I jump into drone, I lose all input to my airplane. So whatever it was doing last is what it keeps doing. So like I said, I could use the drone outside of autopilot, but it's a bad idea the way it's set up. Now some people must remap their things because they are able to use their drone or something. I don't know. But natively, you can only use the drone if you're on autopilot or on the ground without doing workarounds. So anyway, let's see here. That looks awesome. This is fun. I keep saying 500 over and over again. Alrighty, now we're going to come down, and we're aiming for somewhere over here. That must be water, so it must be right in here. We'll keep our speed up and blast through this. Should I show you what happens if we go to drone mode? See how it's bouncing around. See how it's going to the right and going up. Watch when I come back in. See? I got to regain control now, see? So, now, and there's train turbulence to boot. Ooh, nauseous. Nauseous. Oh, I got to close my eyes. Oh, I can't watch this. We'll be sliding around the mountain when we fly. We'll be flying around the mountain when we fly. I love looking back at where there were like glaciers at one time. And just look how tiny those trees look. Those are full-size pine trees. And look how small they look, because everything is so gigantic here. Alright, where is this airport? It is at the tip of that. So let's come out over the water and look for the shoreline and land on it. Runway not in sight, but we know it's there somewhere. So here we go. Let's start slowing down. Turn on to a short final. Don't sink though. We're only 500 feet above the ground, which is also sea level. I can't see anything without peripheral vision. There it is. Is that it already? Holy cow. Okay, there it is. Let's get this thing. Oh my gosh, we're 300 feet above. Oh, be very careful. Oh my gosh, are we going to make it? We'll make it. We'll make it. We've done enough of these. Flaps 1. That'll slow us down. Flaps 2. And coming in kind of low for a tail dragger here. Full flap. We're coming in kind of low, can't see what we're doing. But we're going to come down, drop it like a rock right at stall, and then we'll keep it off. We won't land on the tail wheel, but we will get it down on the tail wheel. There we go. Coming in high, level it out, let it drop down at stall. Come on, stall, where are you? Stall. And one bounce, and boom, brakes back on the tail wheel, flaps coming up. And there we go. Nice. Very nice. Alright, leg 8, one more. Hey, it only took 1 minute longer than it was supposed to. Nice. Probably because it actually flew the way they intended. One more leg for this video. Let's go. Repair and refuel. I let it go beyond 5 gallons. Difference. Bad for me. There we go. Get some light in there. Alright, what are we doing? Where are we going? We're going to PAPH. Alright, half an hour. So this one will probably use autopilot because it's kind of exhausting to go that long. Hand flying, plus there's a lot of planes here. So, PAPH, let's keep the altitude nice and low. I'll only climb if I have to, or if the computer sends us into a mountain. So let's, maybe what we'll do is we'll let the autopilot get us here for the boring parts. Hand fly this. Autopilot the boring part. Hand fly through here, and then oh yeah. That's what we're going to do. Alright, that's how we're going to do it. Let's zoom this in actually so I can get a better view, since we will be doing some hand flying. We kind of need to know what we're doing, more so than just an overview. Alright, so let's come down here and let's get this thing going 4,000 feet. And then I'll change if I have to once we hand fly that part. 4,000, vertical speed. We'll do an easy 800 feet, 900 feet per minute. And we'll do nav this time. Simple. Okie dokie, let's read. Depart from the airfield and head east along the river. It'll open up into a bay. Imagine that. Another lagoon. And then another bay. Another mountain coal in the distance. Then we'll hand fly this. Look for the blue path. We'll go through the mountain path by hand. Follow the river, and then we come out. And then we'll go back to autopilot here. And then we'll find our way to 2 runways that are not connected. That is photo reference. We will land whatever makes sense. Okie dokie, parking brake off. Full steam ahead, Captain. And hopefully we have enough runway. Sometimes they put us in the middle and that's not enough. Hopefully this is enough. It's enough. It's more than enough. Well, let's do full flap. Boom, boom, boom. Let's get up. Up, 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 up. Brakes to stop the wheels. Gears fixed. Flap coming in. Look at that mountain that came over those trees. Did you notice that? Flaps all in. As soon as we came over that tree line, we saw those mountains. That was crazy. Let's engage autopilot right now. It'll turn us. Hopefully. Zoom out a little bit. Okay, there we go. Now we're climbing. We are climbing, right? Why is it being so aggressive? I know that's a standard rate turn, but good grief. Is it going to come back before we hit the mountains? Is this a steep enough ascent? Yes, it's fine. Made me nervous there, man. Alright, so we're going to hand fly. No, we're going to autopilot, I mean. Until we get to this first pass, I'll fly that through by hand. Maybe fly all this by hand. And then autopilot again here. Because that'll be boring to hand fly. That's what we're going to do. So we'll do a hybrid approach for this leg. I think that's pretty reasonable. Let's keep the map like that so I can see what's going on. And that's it. Sightseeing for you. I know this video is getting long because we had 2 really long legs and I kept it more vid sightseeing than I thought it would. So let's just get to sightseeing right now. And who cares if it's a long video? See you in a little bit. Alright, let's hand fly this little section anyway. Just because why not? Why not? Let's come down a little bit. We're just going to weave through those mountains. Nice and tight against the sides without crashing into them. So we'll get us through here because this hill is this hill, and then we'll just let the autopilot take us in. So we'll say bye to that ocean for a while. We'll be seeing more water in a moment though up ahead. But right now, the focus on hand is to get through this very, very simple mountain range. At least from the air, it looks super simple. I'm sure on the ground it looks absolutely enormous. And if you were trying to walk through it, I'm sure it would take a couple hours. But from the air, it looks easy. So we'll just thread right through here. Typical Alaska, where it's only accessible by bush plane. Like if you wanted to come here for whatever reason you needed to come here for, would it need to be by bush plane? So the satellite here looks pretty good. Back there a little bit during sightseeing. I like how the trees are just on one side. It's probably realistic. Because the wind coming off the lake, or the ocean, probably they can only go on one side. Where are we at? 2,000 feet? Let's not get too much lower. So, I lost track of what I was saying because of those trees. Oh, back, a little ways back doing the sightseeing. It seemed like we're against a painting, which is kind of cool. Better than default mesh, I guess, but this is pretty neat too. Well, that's awesome. There, imagine Minecraft when you have a dark thing under an overhang. Very cool. Alright, well that was extremely simple. Where are we at compared to the map? Oh, I have it down there. I don't want to engage autopilot quite yet because it'll probably turn us into this mountain to meet the purple line. So we're just going to give us some throttle to climb a little bit. We can probably just stay at 3,000 now. Probably don't need to go to 4,000 anymore. Whoops. And let's watch what we're doing. Final looks as we go through this mountain pass. Can we look out the back? Should be able to. There we go. See? Well, there's a river there like it's supposed to be. Very simple. Very simple. So we're just going to fly straight now until we intersect the purple line. And then once we cross over it, we will engage autopilot. The reason why I'm not going to engage autopilot right now is because it would swerve way sharp left to meet that line and run into a mountain. I could use heading bug though until we met up with it. But we'll just keep hand flying here. Let's climb a little bit too so we get close to that 3,000 feet. Alright, we've met the purple line. Let's engage autopilot. And what's it going to do for climb? I think it's going to keep us the same. No, it's going pretty high, isn't it? Let's just do like a 500 foot per minute climb. 700, I guess now. And there we go. It's going to get us back to 3 grand and line us with the purple line. No mountains were damaged or injured in the making of this video. Although that looks kind of scary. No, it's going to turn us... Okay, right now we're right here. It should turn us around all this. If not, we'll climb, but we should be good to go. We should be good. Yeah, we're still way back here. Alrighty. Another minute of sightseeing or so, and then we'll land this plane and finish this part of the bush trip video. Final gazes around until we look for airport. So I was wrong when he said this was going to be boring. This part is awesome. It'd be boring to fly this by hand, but it's awesome to look around. Oh, I love that. I love that. Like in real life, exactly the same thing, right? You get the near stuff and then fog, then another layer. It's almost like the world is layered. The scenery is like layered. Bit of fog in between. That is amazing. The cloud reflections could be a little better. But we won't worry about that, will we? Alright, do we see an airport? Yeah, right there in front of us. Literally right in front of us. Alright, let's kill some AP and let the computer do its weird stuff. Let's come on down. Do we need to pick a specific runway? We'll land at one of them. And if it doesn't count, we'll taxi over and land our, and then stop at the other one. So let's just come down steeply here, looking into the weird sun, and we'll land whatever runway that's going to be, kind of perpendicular to us. So what, like 32 maybe? Probably not even numbered. But that came up quickly like it always does when we're flying this fast. I feel like we're approaching this like a Cessna or small dual engine here, multi-engine instead of a little bush plane, but doesn't matter as long as it's safe and we can reuse the plane when we're done. It doesn't even matter if we break a leg as long as we can reuse the plane when we're done, eh? Oh, there's like a little store or shop, car dealer, car repair down there. Don't know, but it's awesome. Alright, here we go. Pay attention, stay on target. Oh, we have PAPE at this one. Says we're too high? Really? I guess it's kind of hard to judge when it's all flat like this. Coming into flaps range here, first flap. Simple as that. Long, slow approach.
500.
Second flap. I know it says we're high, but we're in a tail dragger, so we are going to come in high on purpose. Nosedive at the end, bleed off speed and land. Do not land on the tail wheel. You know the story. Ooh, a little bit of crosswind from the left, finally. Actually, quite a bit of crosswind from the left. Blowing us all over here. Here we go. Final flap. Coming down like a rock. And we'll bleed off speed in a moment here. And coming down, throttles back, level out, but don't land on the tail wheel. Stall, please. That was not very good. That was our worst landing yet. That's okay. And back on the tail wheel, brakes, flaps coming in. Don't ground loop. It wants a ground loop so bad. Oh gosh, don't, no, don't ground loop. Ooh, that was scary. And that should have counted. It did. Wow, that was our worst landing. I think it's because I thought the runway was really narrow, so I thought we were just about to touch down, but we had like 15 feet to go, which happens to me on all wide runways, lack of peripheral vision. That's why we do better on the tiny runways and worse on the bigger ones. That's just how it's always been for me. Anyway, that is the video 2 of 3. Join us next time for the conclusion of the Alaska bush trip. See you then.